Welcome to Wiretapped Truths. My name is Jesse Perez. I'm here with Mr. Wiretapped Truths himself, Leland, and a real special guest, Maestro Harrell. Harrell is the last name?
Harrell. Yes, sir.
Harrell. I apologize.
No, you good,
Uh,
brother?
Maestro Harrell. And we're missing Jack. He's okay.
Blessings,
Prayers with him.
blessings.
Got into a little car accident. He really wanted to be here, but we're going to have a part 2 with him. But we really wanted to get this out to you guys, because this is a real special guest to us, and so we're gonna shoot a little condensed version of the interview, and then he's gonna come back when Jack's on, and we're gonna work it out that way.
Easy.
We're huge Wire fans, and I just gotta ask you, Maestro, is Carver going to take care of you? He's going to take care of you.
After all these years, I think I got to give up on that. he left me there. It's funny, even looking at that at an older age, you look at it and you go, damn, man, like, way to be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know what I mean? Like, I guess he kind of tried. But like, we all know, like, that was a real half-ass try.
It's funny because me and Jack were talking earlier, man, and he would have loved to hear that, because we're saying Carver could have adopted him. Like, it was kind of
you saw what Bunny did. Like, it's not like it's not impossible, but I just think like Carver wasn't. What I do like about it is, once again, the show. I always tell people, like, the show is so realistic in the sense of, like, really nothing in his character says that he would have done it. Nothing in his character. So if he would have done it, that would have been like some real TV show, like, oh, we're really happy it happened shit. But like, nothing about any of how, like, the first few seasons and you seeing his character says that he would have adopted one of these, street hoppers.
When he went to the lady, right? It was kind of like she kind of said, you would be able to. It's just a long process. And he's like, nah, I'm good.
That's my point. It's him and Herc. Anything that said long process wasn't really their bag.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of like, once again, it stayed true to the character of the character, but it's.
And you know what, too? It's almost like she didn't say that it was impossible either. It wasn't like, yeah, no, you can't do it. She said it's a process. He could have been like, all right, well, how long is it going to take? Like, put me on a list, like, let's do it. Like, I don't know. I think that was just part of the writing. It had to go that way. Because he
had to go that way.
Like, put me on the list. I want to do this. I'm here for this kid. I want to do this.
Yeah, I don't think he had it in him, man. Like, honestly, yeah. I think that's one of those things, like, because that's even one of the first times we see Carver in the show, correct me if I'm wrong, but like really trying to do the right thing, right?
It started with, at the end of season 3, when he had a speech with Bunny, and Bunny was pretty much like, yeah, you got your stats, but you don't really know shit about the community. You're not really in the community to really give me the information that a true cop that I really need as a true police. You can arrest people on the corner all day. Anybody can do that. But when I ask you about some information, you don't never know shit. And that was his turning point, was at the end of season 3. And it kind of showed him playing with the kids a little bit more, interacting a little bit more. And then season 4, it was
right. And there you go. You see, that's as far as he was willing to take it. That's as far as he was willing to take it.
Man, Marshall, man, we appreciate you coming on, man. I don't know, like Jesse asked you off camera, I don't know if you had a chance to check out any of our past interviews, but we did interview Julito as well.
Okay, where?
Yeah. So the fact that we're able to 2 out of the 4 legendary characters from season 4.
Thank you, brother.
It's an honor, man. We were glad to have you. We know you're a busy man. We appreciate you coming on our platform.
No problem, bro.
And I gotta ask you. Go ahead, Jesse.
No, I was gonna say, you're speaking of Julito, right? This is what I noticed too. And Maestro, I think you're a Wire fan, right? Like, you went back and watched the whole. I've seen you talk about it and stuff. And it's something that came to my realization when we did the season 1 recap, is like, D'Angelo's really the main star of the Barksdale crew in season 1.
Yeah.
And it's something people don't think about, because he gets overshadowed by Avon and Stringer. But dialogue wise, the character the actor Lawrence Gillett has like 400. I googled it. He has like 490 lines compared to Stringer's 220 or something crazy like that,
Oh
right?
shit! But yeah, I never knew it was that stark. But yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? And then when I googled season 4, Julito has the most. Naaman, who's the character that has to get out and kind of like more not built for that life too, right? Mm-hmm. And you have the second most dialogue of the kids. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I did not know that. That's cool to know.
Season 4. So Randy and Naaman, who weren't really built for. So do you think like Randy and Naaman are the two main kids in season 4?
I think that's a good question. I think the way that it's framed from the beginning, because I even remember when we auditioned for it, I saw, what was it? First they had me read for, I think it was Michael, and then after Michael they had me read for Randy. But once I saw Naaman's arc in like the first episode or the first few episodes, everybody wanted that character. That was like the character you wanted. You know what I mean? So I do think like Naaman, even don't forget, he even has like in theory, he has the famous father, Weebay. So he's kind of set up to be, I think, in theory, the main kid. But that's the beauty of the show, where it just shows you like, you know, nobody's really the main at the end because we all have these crazy storylines that go wherever. But I remember even
it's all connected.
Exactly. And it's like, I remember even in the early episodes, we were like, this motherfucker's got an Xbox. He's playing Xbox. Like, what the fuck? I don't have no scenes playing Xbox. Like, Naaman had all the cool shit, you know? I think that's also why you don't see as much of Michael, but on the second end, that's where they really build who he turns out to be. You know what I mean? So I think it's like all the characters kind of sneak up on you, you know? But I think the most forward noticing ones who get into some shit early are Naaman and myself. But then, like, you know, as you get into even into season 4, season 5, then that's where Michael and Dookie really start to, you know what I mean, really blossom. Like, you start to really see their issues. Yeah, flourish. Yeah.
And you know, I have to ask, it's just one of the I'm sure people who are diehard Wire fans, they know you being Cheese's son.
Yeah.
What is like, okay, like walk me through any portion of, not even just that, Prop Joe is your uncle.
Yeah, like, that's, to me, that's the coolest part.
Wasn't Prop Joe Wasn't Prop Joe like a mentor to you all off of camera?
Yeah. So he was the one.
Was he not?
He helped us through like all the early on. He was like our acting coaches. You know what I mean? He worked on the scenes with us. You know, kind of helped us ease into our characters because he did so much in the community. Like Sherrod and I'm trying to think what was her character name? There's another girl, Rakaya, I believe her real name is. But even one of the girls who was in the classroom with us and Sherrod, they were brother and sister, and they were in one of his programs that he had out there in Baltimore. So like, you know, he was like really big in like the theater community and the acting community in Baltimore, especially in the inner city, like, you know, with young Black kids. And like, yeah, man, like he was Robert Chu was man, like bigger than life guy, really, really sweet guy, really, yeah. Like you know, it was sad when he passed. Yeah,
I've heard, you know, just people from the show who've spoken just very highly of him and of Michael Williams. You know, those are the two that when people from the show they speak about, it's like, you know, they were like angels on this earth, you know, kind of thing. They had that type of spirit in both of them, you know. But just going back to season 4 and season 5, like kind of walk me through like some of the theories about, I guess, though them being connected and stuff that we never got to see.
That's the funny thing. So they never even told. That's one thing about that show, man. It's like they did a good job of keeping us all in our worlds. So even as far as people like Michael K. Williams, like I wasn't running into him all the time on set. I probably saw him more off a set than I actually saw him on set. You know what I mean? We don't run into bubbles like that. So we're not seeing, you know what I mean? We're not seeing Andre Royo on set like that. Like they did a really good job, even with how when we shot the show in the beginning, we would always have school together. We were always together. That's how it was early in the season 4. And then as our storyline started to split, we weren't in school together as much anymore.
Right.
We weren't like, they did it like really strategic. But I'll say that to say, like, I met Method Man once on set. At the time, had no clue of the theory that he was my father or anything. Yeah, I think the way I've always interpreted it was just like, this is how sad these stories are. Your father is literally just on the other side of town.
I'm not far. I'm like
not far at all. And then you see a kid who's promising and like smart, kind of just like Prop Joe. He has like that entrepreneurial spirit. Like all those things are there, but it's just not in any way being crafted or sculpted. And now he has to live this whole life over here with all this shit because his father's just like, it's crazy. It's like, I don't know.
It's outrageous. Like
it's outrageous. Yeah.
See, now to be a little, because when I did the show with Leland and Jack, when we got together, we actually met from the Facebook group, All the Pieces Matter.
Okay. That's awesome.
So, when we got together, I said, hey, I'm going to call out when I think the Wire's where I could be a little critical about the Wire. And see
let's do it.
That doesn't sit well with me because Prop Joe's a family guy. So Prop Joe not being there for a nephew that he knows is on the other side of town, it doesn't fit character wise.
Well, see, here's my catch. So then we could explore though. Does Prop Joe even know?
Damn.
I don't even think Prop Joe knows. Like, I don't think that's because also you got to remember, like, Cheese is a wild card anyway.
Right.
Like,
he'll crash out for sure.
He's a crash out. And like Prop Joe knows that. That's even why I can't remember exactly what it was, but haven't there been parts in the show where he kind of had to like send him off one way so he could do another thing? Like, because he knows you can't tell this guy everything. He's trash out. Right. So I see what you're saying. I think if there was some kind of like, if it would have been a situation where I was Cheese's son and I was staying with like my mom, who was Miss Anna or something, that I'd buy, where it'd be like, nah, like he would have put that together. I think I'm just in the system. Yeah. So I think it's kind of like the mom ain't want him, the dad ain't want him. Yeah. Somehow this kid ended up with the same last name, and that's where that ends.
Yeah. That's so taking back to the first introduction, right? Can you take us to the scene of because I still cry when I watch it. You gonna look out for me, Mr. Carver? You gonna look out for me, Carver? Like, it's and I told Julito this too. I think the kids have the best acting in the show for me. Like, you guys really steal those scenes, man.
Thank you, brother.
And Maestro, do you know that that's the most critically acclaimed season of The Wire? Like,
even if I didn't know, that's the one everybody seems to. I mean, and I get it because, like, don't get me wrong. Season 1, incredible. Season 2, very good, but I do understand people's gripe with it. Season 3, whoa. Like, to me, one of the best. Like, season 3 is my favorite because I had nothing to do with it, right? Mm-hmm. So you're always going to have that when you have nothing to do with something. Like, wow, that's so good. You know what I mean? Season 4, though, I could see how, if we're really being honest, it feels like the most complete version of a show. Like, I could see how I completely understand why it brought in the most people, because kids always work generally. Mm-hmm. It just usually works. But they really did, and just taking myself out of it, like even just seeing the other guy, like they really did a great job casting all of these kids. And then you're setting some kids with some like heavy stuff in a world that you usually don't see kids. So that's great. Then I think seeing how the kids are affected makes people care a little bit more about the other pieces of the show. You know what I mean? Because, like, yeah, it's one thing, you know, like, okay, adult cops busting adult criminals. That feels one way. Right. But then watching an adult cop bust some kid, but then that kid turns out to be the person who kills Omar. And then you start to see the weight of your actions. I think that's all it is. Whereas with adults, it's really easy to forget that. You know what I mean? Like, we're, you know, as an adult, once we cross a certain age, it's like we're looked at like, you are who you are, bro. You know, like,
you gotta figure it out.
You got to figure it out. Exactly. But like, it's even that thought process of like, if you just look at every human being and then just imagine them as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And then you try to factor in like, okay, so now why is this guy acting like an asshole and going crazy? Well, there's probably a whole lot of things if you look at that person like that, which you would care a lot more if you saw him at 8.
Right.
But yeah, and I think that's just what the show was so great at. That season was great at showing because it brought all of it together. Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing.
Can you walk us through shooting that scene? Like, did you feel emotional throughout it? And
yeah, I mean, it was one of those things. I knew I had a big day and a big scene to shoot that day. And man, I don't even. It just was more of a going in, understanding. Because there's so much more. I guess I say that there's so much more life I've lived since. So I don't even know what my like motivation at that age was. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I think it had hit ahead though too. Also, just factoring in like, man, so like, it's just when you see the stakes of everything. My foster mother's, who knows?
Burned to death.
Literally, who knows if she makes it? Like, no. And then I got this cop here who we made it so explicitly clear to you that like I can't. Also, how this shit works. Like that's another thing. It's like I think that's another reason why it's like even though he couldn't adopt Randy, it shows like that this is it's just a footnote in your life. This is my entire life. Mm-hmm. So I think that was like really even at a young age, I understood that. Like this human, and mind you, I hadn't seen the show, so I didn't even know what this guy's character was outside of this, which I also think helped. Like a lot of this stuff is like I don't know who Herc is.
You don't know who Carver is.
I don't know who Carver is. I don't know who. So even as I've learned who they are in season 4. So even when he walks up and he's talking to us about like, well, you young hoppers gonna come around here and blah blah. This is the first time I'm even understanding in my life who this guy is. Mm-hmm. So I think like all those things, kind of not having that context and just going into it like that, it kind of just, I just really felt like, man, and I've been acting for a while prior, so I kind of understood how to work myself and work myself
ready
up there.
For it.
But even just the way playing off of him and just that, like, he did a great job of just being ashamed, which allowed me to be even more angry.
Because he couldn't speak. He didn't say much.
Exactly.
Like, he was so distraught, like,
Yeah, because he understood that too. This is a footnote for me. This is
this kid's whole life is
it's cooked. This kid's cooked. Like,
and honestly, Maestro, I kind of want to. This is kind of like a 2-part question. I kind of want to touch off of that scene. So there's a scene like right when they burn down Miss Anna's house. Mm-hmm. When they throw the Molotov cocktails into the house, and then it flashes to Prop Joe lighting up a cigar with a flame. Like it's one of the most.
I never put that together. That's crazy.
It is one of the most beautiful like transitions into a scene, and that scene with Prop Joe and Cheese is one of the most funny scenes in the whole show too. So it's just a beautiful scene, just going into it. But like
also that connection.
Yeah, it's a crazy scene. If you ever,
especially if you understand the Cheese and the Prop Joe, it's like, oh
yeah, it's a crazy wire nugget.
Okay,
I feel like to me every time I rewatch it, every time I rewatch it, I feel like I understand more and more. Like, wait, this woman got burned to death almost. Like how horrific what actually happened. Like past how upset Randy was, but like what actually happened to his mom, like is unbelievable. Do you feel like as a Wire fan, because we've seen some of your interviews, this is a 2-part question. One, do you feel like that's the saddest scene in The Wire? Do you it just being a fan? And 2, we looked at your filmography and stuff, everything that you've acted in outside of The Wire. What is the project outside of The Wire that you're most proud of? Because I saw you were a voiceover in Lion King.
Yeah, the
So
Mufasa.
yeah. I saw.
Really
I like to touch on that. But
okay.
one, do you think that's the saddest scene? And two, what are you most proud of outside of The Wire?
I think it's one of the most sad, but I think the two that catch me every time on top, like I think it's one of the most sad for sure. Because I feel like even just as a fan watching, if I were to see that, I and maybe that's why I'm good at playing that kind of role, but like a lot of times, like I really do empathize with the good kid, bad situation. That's even like even in my own life, I can be a very harsh, like to an extent, like feel like, hey, you know, there's certain ways to move forward in this world, and I can have those views, but I also always have that caveat for understanding, like, yeah, but there's certain people who like really like they really do try, like they really do fucking try, and there's no way out of certain situations, like looking at something like that. Where it's like, you know what I mean? You see Randy at 35 years old, let's just say he's homeless, or you're just like, come on, bro, get it together. It's like, yeah, but you wouldn't believe
what he's been through.
Exactly. So I think that's what makes that really sad for me. But I'll tell you the scenes that also really hit me is watching Dookie lie to Mr. Presbo about that fucking money. Bro, that's like, yeah, that to me, like, cause that's like the beginning of seeing where everything's gonna go. And then when you see him hanging around with that fucking horse dude, it's like, oh, bro, buddy, don't. It's like, you know what? It's like watching someone go 100 miles per hour towards a cliff, and you're like, no, but maybe they'll stop. But you know that shit ain't stopping. That's like,
Presbo did everything in his power to take care of Dookie.
Now he would have adopted. He would have
definitely adopted him. Miss Donnelly was like, "Look, man, I notice he's clean now, but he going to the next grade. Okay, you got to pretty much. You got to let this man go. Okay, let him go. Okay,
so
that was so sad. It was so sad that he did Presbo like that. He lied to him. Presbo was like,
he knew, but
you can get your GED. You can still go to high school.
But
I guess okay.
Prez knew though. That's the thing though. It's like that's what makes that scene hurt so much though, because it's like, you know, like it's there. Nobody. Dookie wasn't fooling nobody. Mr. Prez wasn't getting finessed. Like everybody basically, and that's why he even goes, now you know, if I give this, I can't give you anything. Just basically like, come on, man.
Please don't do this to me, Dookie.
Don't do this to me, bro. Like, don't, because I also feel that because I've had people who I've known, like close family friends. I'm talking about like people I've seen grow up, people I've done things for, people I've helped out. Finesse me for like, you know, I'm from Southside Chicago, right? But it's like finesse me for like $500 or some shit like that.
Been there. Yeah, been there. I've been there.
And you sit there and you go, like, the way I've always looked at it is I go, hey, thank God I'm fortunate enough where this isn't going to kill me. B, I never give money. If I'm not going to see it back, oh well. I never would give an amount that if I'm not going to see it again, I'd have a problem. Never. But you just look back and you go, damn, bro. Like I expected more from you. Now the Dookie thing's even sadder because you just know it's like, no, you're a fiend now. So this is a whole nother layer. But you see it. That shit hurts because sometimes you just, as lame as it sounds, you expect a little bit more from certain people. And then you realize it's all in the game.
That is a tough scene, man. Because Presbo was like, man, let me just get the fuck out of here, man.
Let me get out of literally. And literally. Okay. And then second half of that question, things that I've been one other scene that I'll say that was always really sad to me too was when you see the mic ain't Mike no more. Like the mic, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, when Dookie is sitting in there and he's talking to him in the car about whatever, he's like, yeah, remember when we had the piss balloons we do? Like, nah.
It might don't even remember.
Yeah, but that
means he's been through so much in a year or 14 months, however long the duration of time is from season 4 to season 5, you know, that he doesn't even remember
No.
You don't remember getting into that's something you never forget. Throwing some piss at some rivals as kids. That's an unforgettable moment. Like,
I'm not. It's just that moment though of like I ain't a kid no more. Like I'm not like none of that. I'm gone. Like it's funny because when you look at that show, everybody at the end of the day is cooked, but everybody gets cooked in a different way.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. Like you could say Randy losing. Randy goes back to the hell that he tried to avoid it and he cost. Cooked.
Yeah.
Little sound effect. Then you got Michael, who is, let's just be real. We see it in other, we see it in the Instagram world when people don't have the best of parents and they start acting out and doing whatever. But no, now you put that in, in Baltimore, that sort of town. So yeah, what happens when a kid is being, probably bothered at home and then has to take care of his family? He has to watch mom he becomes criminal of criminals, cook. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like you just look at every level. Then it's like Naaman was cooked from the beginning, but then fortunately was able to get like taken out of that situation, which was like one of the few people to win. And then Dookie was cooked when he was born, was cooked the entire time, the whole ride, and then was cooked at the end.
He never had a peaceful moment.
No, never. And then even when you look at someone like Donut, we didn't see a whole lot of like what's going on in his life. But at the end of the day, Monkey was just outside stealing cars.
He was still stealing cars. Okay,
he was just going to grow up into more of that. Exactly. And then Kennard, you see where that
prison
even
for
goes.
Life. Yeah.
Like, bro,
yeah,
like,
the kids, man, those were some rough stories, man. Michael's story, The Wire does a good job at hinting at stuff, stuff he's stuck at.
Yeah.
The stuff that, we didn't need to see him abused on camera, but it was definitely alluded to. It was clear as day, as to what happened. But that's a terrible story. So wait, you gonna bring him back into the house? You gonna make me live with this man? Like, are you kidding me?
Crazy? You know how many times that shit probably happens, bro?
Yeah,
real. Like the older I get, the more I start seeing because here's the other thing too, right? Let's just be realistic.
Yeah, it's not as uncommon.
Your mom's on drugs.
Yeah.
Your mom's on drugs. So then on top of that, you telling her at probably some age that someone's doing something, she knows deep down he's probably doing it, but at the same time, then he goes away. So whatever. Then he gets you older now, you'll be fine. I'm cooked. I need him to pay for the woo woo woo. Then not to mention who knows what he's doing to your mother in theory. Like
the kids' stories, man, and even Randy's story in season 5. Like, to see he never wanted to go back to the group home. He ended up there. He was crashing out on kids in the group home. He almost swung on Bump. He almost punched Bump in his shit. Like, he was like, man, you better get this man out my face, bro. I'm with the shit now. Okay.
And once again, it's like never had to be, never wanted to be.
And got turned into that
product of environment. But I will say this, the number one thing that when I look at The Wire and I go through every story with the way I view the world now, name one thing that every kid in The Wire didn't have?
Father?
No,
president?
I mean, name it.
A nuclear family. Now, one of those kids had a
mother and a father.
No, now one of those kids had a mother and a father who came home every day. Not one of them.
Damn.
Not a single fucking one of them.
Damn.
This isn't by chance, bro. This shit is not by chance. When you just look at how it's not by chance.
And Maestro, are you a father?
No.
You're not?
But
wow.
I will say this. You know why I'm not? I don't have my shit together yet. Wow, I need to have my shit together. Like, because I know, bro, the only reason why we're having this conversation is because, how does a kid end up at 14 years old being on a show like The Wire and doing all these kind of things? I'm not from Baltimore. How am I supposed to be able to stay there? Because I had a mom and a dad who, I don't know how they did it, but God bless them, still together. You know what I'm saying? Wow. They put my dad put his efforts into getting me into the acting game, taking me to auditions, doing all. Mom packing the bag, we ready to go. We going here. When I went to Baltimore, my mom came out with me. My dad stayed home, worked, and then when my mom had to come back home because she had some family stuff going, my dad flew back out. Like,
they believed in you.
They believed in me. They invested in me, and they were active in my life consistently. And I just every person I see who, unless they have to overcome a ton more shit, generally, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's impossible, but you see it and you start to go like, damn, that shit makes a difference, bro. Because it's just like, it's just like it's a massive, like, that's one thing. Even like I said, when you look at all these stories, it's like we're always fractured, and that fracturing creates just other issues because it's not. I can sympathize. You already ain't got no money, then you got to go work, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you got to go work. But then who watching your kid? Facts. And then what thoughts are they? And what thoughts and ideologies are they implanting into your kid while you're gone? Also, who's watching them? Because now if they're not really watching them, they just outside like us running around doing shit on the show, which is all fun and games until it's not fun and games.
No, the reason I asked that, Marshall, you're so well spoken. Like, it's like a father's wisdom. That's why I was like, bro, are you a dad, bro? What?
Man. He's a podcaster. He knows how to.
Yeah. But nah, bro. I'm telling you, all this stuff, bro, makes a major difference, and that's one thing I just like. Even once again, like, there's so many things I go back and I look at now that I have a different. Well, I always say this: one of the greatest things about watching certain shows, The Wire, The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, any show I really enjoy. You can learn something new every time you watch it at a different part of your life. Mm-hmm. So I can't wait to watch The Wire when I am a father. I can't wait to watch The Wire, or I can't wait to watch Sopranos when I'm married and have kids. Same thing, because it's like, there's certain things I see Tony and Carmela go through now, and it's just like, yeah, whatever, ha ha ha, yeah, she's on his ass. But like, no, I know that will hit differently when I have a house full of people, and I'm like, no, I don't want to have to move out of this motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, like, I think like great television, one of the coolest things about it is no matter what point you are in your life, there's something different you can learn, and there's something different you can take away. So,
man, that's great, man. 32 minutes in, man. We want to say thank you.
You got another one?
Go ahead, Jesse.
No, I was gonna say what you were gonna say, actually.
Oh, okay.
32 minutes. So, if we want to end it on our channel, and we'll hop over to
Maestro Harrell, Maestro Harrell, pop on over, and we'll have the second part of this conversation.
All right, man. Blessings, man. We appreciate you, Maestro. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. I'm about to send it over.
All righty.
I gotta text him my email.
Yeah, send the link